this tutorial is going to focus on drawing 3D words. Really quickly before I started, I used a dry erase board to sort of work out my idea. This probably looks like a big old mess, but I realized after drawing the letters that I also wanted a background, so I played around with putting it on brick wall to make it look like graffiti, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So once again, I'm going to be drawing on a sheet of graph paper. The graph paper is going to help me keep my lines straight, especially when I get to drawing my background. And when you're drawing a word, this one, I wanted it to look more artistic. Instead of just doing block letters, I wanted to give them some curves and some thickness. So wherever you're going to start, I know I want to kind of add my letters in this area. The first thing you need to do is I'm going to pick, this will be my baseline, and I'm just really lightly going to draw the word A-R-T. You can be writing your name, you can write love or hope or whatever it is that you want to add. So once I have the really lightly sketched letters in there, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start making them a little bit more artistic. I decided that the left side of my letter, I want to have more weight than the right side, so I'm going to go in and on the left side, I'm going to let the letters get thick as I get towards the bottom especially, and on the right side they're going to get a little bit skinnier. So there's the right side skinny, the left side thick. If I want to, I can add some little tails or anything I want to make these look a little more creative than just some block letters. So there's my A. So I'm going to follow the rules all the way across. The left side is thick and the right side is thinner. Now remember, this is just your rough draft, so don't stress too much about having lines that are sketchy or lines that are erased. But this is going to work for me, I think, for the purpose of this project. All right, now because these are not block letters, it is going to be a little bit harder when it comes time to start connecting things to your vanishing point. So right now I need to decide where's my horizon line and where's my vanishing point. When I was kind of playing around with this, my horizon line is going to be, maybe it's going to be the top of the wall. So I'm going to go in and I think I'm going to make this my horizon line. And I want my vanishing point to be off to the side, but you could do it in the middle, you could do it on the right, but I'm going to make mine over, actually way over here. That's going to be my vanishing point. You don't need to make yours this big. I'm just doing it kind of big so you can see it. I'm definitely going to need a ruler for the next part, and I need to go and try to connect as many corners as I can. They're going to have a lot more corners or edges than they would if I had just done block letters. So give me a second. I'm going to go in and add as many of these edges connecting to the vanishing point as I can. Remember, when something gets in your way, you're just going to jump over it. I wouldn't draw this line up here because this is actually going to be that side of the letter A. I do need to connect to that little inside part of the A right there. Draw those lines, and if something gets in your way, stop. Now with a curve like the outside of this R, I'm just trying to find the most outside part, which is right here, and I'm going to connect that to the vanishing point. All right, I've got all my corners, I think, connected. Sometimes I figure out that I missed a few as I'm working. So now I need to figure out where the back of the letter is. I'm not going to try to make my letter go off into the vanishing point. I want them actually to just have a little bit of depth. So I have to decide how thick I want it to be. I'm going to make it about, see how this is about 1 block thick? I'm going to try to do that for all my letters. But what I need to do is I always need to make my lines parallel to the line that it's following. So it's following this line. It's going to go straight down, and when that line curves down here, I need to make this one curve also. See how it's going to try to be the same line as this line right here. The top of the A right here, again, it goes straight over to the side and then it curves down, and it is about half of a block past this part of the A. So I'm going to go about half of the block past, go straight over and curve down. That looks about right. This little line in here is not necessary. I'm going to erase that line right there. So the rest of that A, I think, looks pretty good. So remember, it's about a block thick. So I'm going to go over to the R and try to make it about a block thick. I'm going to make this line parallel to that line as far as I can. See, this is where these blocks, the graph paper is coming in handy. So the top, let's see, this is tricky. Oh, you know what? I see how I connected to the vanishing point here, but not here. I need to go back and connect that little bottom part, and that's going to help me make the back of this little tail right here. So this one is going to connect over here. That connects there. And now that tells me where the top of the R. Again, I'm going to try to follow this line, but I only until I get to the line that connects to the vanishing point. See this line right here? So I'm only going to draw this line until I hit there. Let's see if that's right. Yep, that looks about right. Inside the R, same thing. I'm going to try to kind of mimic. That's where that line's going to be. Okay, that looks about right for the R. Now for the T, the same thing. I'm going to try to make them about a block deep. So since this is in the middle of this block, I'm going to make it in the middle of this block and try to make that whole line parallel. It curves at the bottom, so I'm going to make this one curve at the bottom. This line right here, I want to make it about a block deep. And then I'm going to connect over to that side. So there are my 3D letters. I'm going to go in right now, and so I don't get too confused when I'm working on the rest of my project, and I'm going to erase those guidelines and get them out of the way.